All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to People in the Boxes. It's episode 139, Thursday night, 8 o'clock Central Time. It is April 10th, 2025. We are cruising through this year. If you guys will help us out, hit that like button and share it out. Share it out with all your friends. Reshare it on the Rumble and all over the interwebs. We're going to be right back. We're going to hit this little intro video for about 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and we'll be doing that ourselves. If you could help us out. If you watch this video, this part of the video, you might be watching the replay. Check out the show. Tell us what you think. Hit the comments. We'll be right back, guys. Let's talk about it.
Voices echo through the walls so thin, trapped in squares where the stories begin. Whispers rise from the shadows deep, secrets these boxes swear it keep. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Cube holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Cages or a stage to stand, a prison built by a human hand. Voices clash, then they blend as one. In the boxes, the journey's begun. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. I hear their sound, lost in seeking yet profound. People in the boxes near and far, shining out like a guiding star. Voices echo through the walls so thin, trapped in squares where the stories begin. Whispers rise from the shadows deep, secrets these boxes swear to keep. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Every cube holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Or a stage to stand, a prison built by a human hand. Voices clash, then they blend as one. In the boxes, the journey's begun. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. Every cage is or a stage to stand, a prison built by a human hand.
People in the oh, hey, what's up, guys? We're back. We are back with People in the Boxes, episode 139. Let's go. It's April 10th already. April 10th. When is the first official day of spring?
What?
First official day of spring. When was that?
That was last month, May 20 something.
May's next month. March.
I mean, March. I'm sorry. March 20 something.
Okay,
I
so
was
yeah, it wasn't
it was
that
May.
long ago. It was pretty recent. So tonight, guys, we're talking. We're gonna gather together like we always do on a Thursday night, and we want to share our experiences on the topic. Topics can range from anything political, medical, ethical, fun, not fun, sad, all these kinds of things. We do a lot of different topics. 139 episodes so far. Big Mike and Margaret in the house. Thank you guys for coming through. Hit that like button. I'm going to put the link out if anybody wants to come up. Even if you don't even have a lot to say about the topic, you're welcome to come up on People in the Boxes. We want you guys to come up. We don't want it to be just us, but sometimes it is, and I appreciate that. Thanks. We got Red Six and we got Miss Kim Axtell. You are right in the sun. Look at that. Sunny over there, and it's dark over here. It's just
Yep. It's the waning rays of sunlight. The sun is setting. It's what time is it? It's 7 o'clock here right now.
They say that's a good time to do. What is it called? There's a word for it. Where sun gazing,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to do it like the last hour of sunlight right before it goes over the hill completely. And it's something to do with the angle at which you're looking at the sun. You're looking at it at an angle through the atmosphere, and it filter everything else out, and it's supposed to be good for you. But you do your own research out there for that. Kayla, what's up?
Okay.
So yeah, I've heard of that. I actually, side note, and this is coming up to the more sunny months. I stopped wearing sunglasses. I still have some. Like I might take them with me just in case. Uh, the angel, the angle of the dangle. You're right. Got to worry about that. Now that like I don't wear sunglasses anymore. Do you wear sunglasses? You guys wear sunglasses when you're
I have.
driving?
I get migraines.
Yeah, I have to. Same
Careful.
thing.
I did, but I tell you what, I slowly I stopped wearing them, and at first it's tough, especially depending on how long you've been in the house. Like you spend all day in the house for a few days or whatever, doing whatever, working at home, and you end up going outside, man. Oh, it hits you hard. But I found that my eyes actually, uh, you actually, how do I put this? You actually weaken your eyes over time by wearing sunglasses too much. If you do, it's a
You
separate
have to be
separate thing.
careful here where I live because the sun is different because it's a desert. So you have to be really careful here with sunlight. It's more intense or something.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. You have to be well. I mean, I wear hats, and you would wear. There's other things you can do to help get the sun out of your eyes, like like the black makeup, or I don't know what they call it, like
Yeah.
in the military you could do it with camo, but you could do that in civilian world too with like baseball players do. Anyway, but tonight's topic is the spring fever. And when I typed in spring fever, what do you think comes up when you type in spring fever? And this was on Canva when I was building the picture.
Probably
Spring
ticks.
spring fever. No,
No?
just a bunch of people getting sick, sneezing and stuff.
Oh,
And I thought when you said spring fever, I thought, don't we use that phrase like almost like it's kind of like cabin fever. You've been pent up all winter long, and
Yep.
I thought that's what I was thinking it was. Like, well,
kids,
spring fever,
this, kids this time of the year, like, oh my God, I'm working in middle school now. And they're like big elementary school kids, middle school kids are. And it is, they have spring fever. Like, you can't shut them up. their little brains are waking up to, oh, and it's
Ready to go. It's sunny out, warm out. Time to get outside.
a
Like,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
energy. Yeah.
Well, there's those are a lot of things I think about when not to bring it back to me, but talking about moving the show times. It's like, how could I do that during the day if it's the prime time for us to be out at a park or whatever, you know what I mean, in the summertime. The summertime's coming up with the summer break. I mean, Bean Dongo, give me a few, okay? Hell yeah, hell yeah. Looks that you
Beanie.
yeah. I need to be I need to shrink me a little bit. This is I feel very extra. Well, here I'll shrink. Here we go. Let's do this.
Are
Now I'm
you,
your guys' size.
are you feeling extra?
Yeah, now I'm your size, except you just see more of me. That's all. Spring fever is after all the snow and you get to go outside. That's what I thought, Big Mike. See, I thought this exact same thing.
Horse feathers. We don't get any snow where I'm at, and everybody's got spring fever from hell. Even me. I don't want to be inside.
I agree. I just think that it was weird that that's what came up. Now, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to just for fun, we're going to ask AI first because I feel like we could go to Google too, but not worried about.
I think my spring fever has been a little bit worse this year because I've got a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to this summer.
Yeah.
So I'm like ready for the cold to be over with, nice weather to get here. So
See what Grok thinks. Spring fever is a term used to describe a mix of physical and psychological sensations people often experience with the arrival of spring. Okay, that's exactly what we were saying.
yeah.
But there's multiple meanings, I guess, because hay fever, allergy season is another way to say it, but it's not a medical diagnosis, but more of a colloquial way to capture the shift in mood, energy. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But when I searched it in Canva, it was like, boom, page of sneezes.
And
It was
actual
like,
woman,
no, it was just showing a bunch of people with like allergy season, basically. Like I don't think it was saying that there was some kind of a thing
it's
called.
been a pretty good allergy season for me so far.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It wasn't. I haven't had a big change. I will say though, I had some headaches and migraines, which you guys see. You guys will know that when you see me wearing my.
Your sunglasses.
Well, they're not
I wear my
sunglasses.
sunglasses at night.
They're not sunglasses. They're LED glasses. I don't know
Yeah,
how else to
I
put them.
got some flowers popping too, Lisa.
I'm going to call them sunglasses regardless of what you call them.
You got flowers outside. I think I got some scrolled up. Okay, there you go. What's up, Lisa? I'm gonna post the link again. No one is required to go up, but I don't have a way to pin it, so I'll
Guess
just
what my temperature was today here for a high?
80.
You're funny. I wish it was 80.
93.
It's currently, can you see what?
88.
It's currently 7 o'clock at night, 88. Guess what it was?
88.
Guess what it was at 4 o'clock?
103.
No,
93.
no,
I like threes. I don't know.
98.
98. Sheesh.
98 at 4
10 points.
o'clock.
Yeah. I feel like I'd migrate a little bit somewhere else.
Well, we used to get this hot this soon.
You got family that lives nearby?
Yeah, my son lives here.
Okay. Well, there's that. Like that's one reason I stay where I'm at. I live in the near my mom.
No, my family has lived. My immediate family, like my brother
Nice.
graduated high school here. My brother was police chief here. They're all dead. My dad moved here in the 50s, so my family's been here almost 100 years, 75 years. So this is home. This is where I was raised. This is where everything makes sense. So I'm not inclined to leave.
That's what I was going to get at next. Is like if you didn't have anyone, if you didn't have family living there, then I felt like it'd probably be just because you are used to it there. I have fantasized about moving, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to. You know,
You know,
it's like
I
ever.
moved. I
Yeah,
moved. Yeah, when I finished with my second master's degree, I moved to California for 8 years. I knew it was like the last opportunity I would have. It was the first time I was free to move. I never really went anywhere in the military, you
never
know.
went anywhere in the military.
Well, like most military people, they're all over the place. I never really got to go
You have to
to.
actually move somewhere. You were
Yeah,
probably you had to go places,
Me.
but not move places. I got you.
yeah. And the places that I went by and large were places that I'd already been to, so I didn't really see too many things that were new. But, you know, the only thing was, overseas, my tour of duty overseas. But I knew it would be like, because I was in my late 30s when I did this, so I knew it would be the last time, that it would be like my last hurrah to move. I never intended to go somewhere and stay gone. It was just going to be a short term thing. And so I moved out to California. I didn't know a soul out there. I just moved out there because why not?
Yeah,
And
why not?
lived
Well,
there for 8 years and came home. And I probably won't ever leave Las Cruces. I love it here, even though there's some downsides to it now.
I mean, it sounds like it's going to get to 120 degrees here in the
Well,
next 2 months.
yeah, I don't
That's
know.
probably
It's
that's one big downside.
like we didn't get near as
Here's
hot
Mike.
last year as we did the year before, thankfully. But it's just all these freaking people moving here, because we're
Yeah,
in the desert, and the bad thing about it is all these houses and all this asphalt and concrete that they're laying. With these people moving here, it makes it hotter. That's why Phoenix is as hot as it is.
not enough water to go around either. Yeah, you get like crazy like uh, mirages on the asphalt. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the thing about a lot of places when you think about springtime, and probably further up north even when you have less of it. But you don't think about how fast it gets hot in some places when it's like spring is like a split second, if
Yep.
you even want to call it that, where you live. You know,
Yeah, it's a curious mix. Spring is here. We don't have a typical spring like you guys do in the Midwest or the East Coast. Where you transition from these really cold, snowy winters.
and it
They
takes
might,
like 2 months. Yeah,
yeah, you might get them a little bit up in northern New Mexico, but down here where I'm at, spring is like, I don't know, windy as hell. We get terrible winds in the spring, like bad winds, up to 100 miles an hour winds.
I guess that's true. So yeah, so spring doesn't mean the same thing for everybody,
Mm-mm.
right? Especially when I mean not just the amount of time, but what actually happens during that time. Like I always think of like people in Canada or Alaska. They they actually have a pretty decent summer. They just I think that they probably just have less like spring and fall. I'm just guessing, but I know they do. I know they have a good few months of pretty hot summer. And that's the
Yeah.
thing; it gets hotter up there in the summer than you might imagine. That's
So, and it
partially.
actually gets warmer in the interior of Alaska than it does like on the outskirts. So, like if you go up by Fairbanks and stuff, it does get 80, 85 degrees up there.
Is
Huh.
that because of the plants? Because of the trees?
I think
Probably
it's
because
more,
there's not a marine layer,
yeah,
would be
Away
my
from the
guess.
water,
yeah.
Yeah.
away from the
'Cause
ice.
I lived in Sacramento, is where I lived when I moved out to California, which is Northern California. And Sacramento gets just as hot as it does here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. It'll get into like 110 degrees or whatever in the summertime, but they have the marine layer that comes into like San Francisco and the Bay Area over there. And the delta, they get the delta breezes from the rivers that flow into San Francisco Bay. And you get these delta breezes that come up that delta into Sacramento and those areas around Sacramento that really are nice. They keep it nice and cool. And I remember the first time that I went to San Francisco, it was before I moved out there. I went to sign my teaching contract, and we went into the Bay Area, and we went to this place called Point Reyes, which is it's a park. I don't know if it's a national park or a state park, but
It's not called Reyes Point, like Makeout Point. No.
no,
Oh, all
no.
right. It's like it sounds a little
It's
bit.
like this place on the shore, and I think it's a national park. It's either a national park or a state park. Hey, leave the cat alone, Keller.
Get him. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So anyway, we went there, and I had on shorts and like a little top because it's summertime. It's 100 degrees, and we get into the Bay Area, and I like to have froze to death. I learned never again did I go into the San Francisco area without being dressed warmly. It doesn't matter the time of year that you go to the Bay Area. It is friggin' ass cold.
Isn't San Fran like Northern California?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking cold. The marine layer there is cold, cold, cold. They have, oh my gosh, they have some cool stuff there though. The waves there, like they have great white sharks. The water is just as cold as anything there. There's a lot of surfing there because they have hella good surfing there. Like they have these humongous waves. They have these crazy surfing competitions because they have some of the biggest waves anywhere in the world right there
Imagine,
in Northern California.
imagine like if Baywatch was filmed there, like they're all like they have like full sleeves and pants on as they're rescuing people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
it's
that
just spin off. I don't.
is fucking cold. So people typically in that area they surf in neoprene because it's cold. There's great white sharks that live in the waters there. There's big old those humongous sea lions, and
Oh
it's
my!
really cool. It's a really cool place, but it's cold. There's only one time that I ever went, and I found out that there's about a week, maybe 2 weeks out of every year when it warms up to about 75 degrees. And I just happened one time to go and meet some friends. There's this big park there, is the Golden Gate Park, and I met some friends, and we hung out at that park all day. And it was warm that day, but any other time, oh my God. And in the winter time, like at Christmas, woo, doggy man, because it's cold. It's wet cold.
Woo doggy.
It is cold. I'm telling you,
Well,
man.
like those currents down below can be cold, even in the tropics. Like you could find well, maybe not in the tropics. I doubt it, but you get what I'm saying. Like you could find cold water even in some warmer areas. But that is something though. Lisa says spring is a time to take it all in and enjoy the new growth. And I did put that in the description. I was like, it's the most striking example of life in springtime when everything is just popping. Flowers just popping up on everything, and everything turns green all of a sudden. It's different than fall because fall anyway here. I guess I can't speak for everywhere, but here fall is a little more gradual. Feel like than spring is, and it's funny because there's similar weather as far as the temperatures go, fall and spring. You've got like storms in both, and you have similar temperature and everything. It's funny, but one of them is everything's dying off, and the other one is everything's growing and starting fresh. Yeah.
Different colors of light spectrum from the sun.
My
Okay.
favorite time of the year is the fall. I like the fall. It's like, it's still really hot here in the fall. Like we don't have fall like everybody else where you get these cooler temps, but it's like the sun isn't near as intense. and you can just feel like this difference in the air. That's how, our falls here are like that. And that's my favorite time of the year is fall. I mean, I like fall. I like the look of fall in other places and stuff like that. The changing the colors, and whatnot. But my favorite time of the year is fall.
I don't know, Kim. I have to speak about this in frisbee golf terms. And Red Six said he played golf today. I think, right?
Yep.
I don't know if it was disc golf or not.
Yeah.
But in the fall, it's a lot harder to find my disc because of all the leaves on the ground. In the
Yeah.
spring, there's not many leaves around, but like you can actually see through all the trees for a while. It's nice. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I like the fall too because you're kind of ready to be able to put more clothing on at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, I
There it
just like
is.
it because it's
Spring
still,
fever, baby. Oh, sorry.
I like it because it's still warm and summery, but it's not freaking blazing hot.
Eh, what?
I'm gonna reset my thing here. I keep getting that noise with my mic.
Reset it. Maybe I could turn your audio down a little bit so you're all the way up. That could be
Yeah.
part of it. There we go. Yeah, guys, come up. Anybody that wants to pop up, even for a short time,
That
we'd
works.
love to have you up. I'm gonna turn you. Oh, okay. Here we go. You're about where I'm at actually now. Bean Dongo. Where's our Bean Dongo when we need him? Someone actually brought up was that Diane, I believe, over on the after show. If you know, you know, over on Locals, indoorfarmer.locals.com. So like places where I could reveal this whole rig here, but I can't do that. Can't do that until the after show. But we are going to do. I am going to do a little late night cap with you all in a minute. But um, Diane mentioned like bees and pollinators, and I was like, yeah, that's a pretty important topic, and we definitely could talk about that specifically.
Aren't they
But
worried about how many of the bee colonies died off over the winter?
You want to know what's real?
that's a big problem, and that was so bees were already a little bit of a buzz, so to speak, about like their population and a bunch of other issues with bees. There were these mites a few years ago, but this last season, a whole bunch. Yeah, like you said, there were like 30% or more of the bees were killed off. I forgot what the reason was. I had my friend Luke over here in studio. Shouts out to riverviewroadapiary.com. They he's been already putting a lot of posts up about it. He's got his own podcast, Beekeeping Buddies, over on Spotify and such. Thanks, Lisa. But yeah, it was pretty alarming the way he discussed it. It's like there's going to be a big problem this year trying to revitalize their population.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. Not going to be good.
I've been thinking about getting into like beekeeping. My cousin does it. My uncle does it, and it looks pretty interesting. They get a lot of honey from it.
I just try to do things to attract bees, to feed them and stuff like that. I don't want to, I'm allergic to bees, so I don't really want to mess with all that. But, I want them to eat. They're a necessity. They're a living thing, and they're dying off. And part of the reason they're dying off is there's like a lot of diseases out there that are causing, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, but there's a lot of diseases that are going around that are killing off hives. Pesticides are really bad.
Yeah, that's been a big issue this year where we're trying to make these changes, but some of that stuff doesn't come overnight, and you're not going to see it. Uh, it's going to get a little bit harder because a lot of farmers switching over to a more regenerative type of agriculture. It's not going to be quick. You know what I mean? They're going to be stumbling and
Yeah, a lot of, I don't know, ignorant fucking shit that goes on out there. I had this lady that lived next door to me, and I couldn't stand her. She was like, I don't know, there was something wrong with her. Like she had some kind of a mental illness of some kind or something. But she would come out with these spray cans because we had ants, and she would come out with spray cans and she would spray the wall. And I tell her, don't fucking spray that shit on the wall over here where my vegetables are at, because I had tomatoes growing there. I said, you're spraying that shit on my food.
Or or somewhere your animals could be licking
Oh,
and getting
she
into.
didn't care about the animals, but like she stopped spraying there over there after I got after her though, because I got kind of ugly with her. It's like, stop, you're spraying that on my food. And I said, if I get sick because you're spraying my food with poison, I said, we're going to have an issue. I said, you do not want to get started a war with me, lady.
Right.
And she stopped after that, but fucking ignorant.
At least the bees, they're probably going to just bioengineer some bees. Right now, they've created bananas that last longer through bioengineering, or I guess through genetics. Uh, and they also have created a grapefruit that you can eat even if you're on high blood pressure medication, which I'm not really in favor of either one. But it's like they're out there just taking shit and trying to, you know, twist it and turn it. I mean, we've had seedless grapes for how long? Like stuff like that, just unnatural. There is no plant on this earth that's supposed to grow and not have a way to propagate itself. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. There might be something out there, but I don't think so. Everything has a way to like grow more. Nobody, what's up? Come on in, hit that like button, guys, if you haven't yet already. We got Bean coming up here shortly. I'm waiting on Bean before I do a dab, so I need other people to message him. He's not responding to my message. I'm just kidding. He's probably busy, but I did message him, so I'm gonna wait for him to come up before we do one. So the allergy thing is a problem these days too, where people are becoming more allergic to stuff. You got food allergies and things like that, and a lot of times it can be a problem in our own homes. So the spring cleaning time is like really good for your house too, because we have our homes all buttoned up all winter long, and the air quality in your house can actually be worse than outside, depending
Yep.
on what you got going on. Brenda, hello.
I
Yeah,
don't, I've tried really hard. I clean mostly now with vinegar and water and baking soda. Like I don't use a lot of chemicals anymore. I don't even really use bleach. About the only place that I use bleach is in my toilets. I use that bleach cleaner shit. But I'm
right.
trying to get away from.
It's funny because a lot of these, like Clorox, the company, they sell a lot of products now that don't have bleach in it.
Yeah, but there's still chemicals that are not good for
There
you.
is.
Disruptors in them.
I kind of want to know what these other chemicals are that are that can replace bleach, and then it's like you can use peroxide for a lot of things too, but the what is it? What's the other brand? You got Clorox, and then there's another one,
Lysol.
Lysol. Yes, and they have their wipes, and you think you got these bleach wipes. They're not bleach. Fresh air, love it. Yes, you got to have some fresh air. Let your house have some fresh air. I try to get outside when I can. I try to walk the dog. I got a dog initially to get myself out of the house to like have to go on a walk, and I had an apartment building that I lived in. But yeah, I developed allergies because I had a deviated septum for a while and didn't know it, and all these allergens from my pets were coming right into the into the old allergy chute right up through the nose, and then boom, I got allergic to pets. But things like the external allergy stuff will help to overwhelm my system, even if I'm not actually allergic to hay or pollen or whatever it is. You ordered some plant-based cleaning stuff today, huh? Malaluka? Malaluka?
Melaleuca.
Malalaluka. Got it. I'm going to have to refresh my screen real quick. Big Kim, you're muted, Red. Are you having trouble?
No, I'm just leaving it muted because that noise kept coming back. I don't know why
So
it's doing.
you're hearing it too on your side?
Yeah,
Huh.
and it
Have you
stops.
tried?
It stops when I shut it off, and then when I turn it back on, it's not there. But like you said, it just kind of slowly gets a little bit louder until I can hear it.
Wonder if
What
I
about
turn
if
you
you turn
down.
your volume down?
I think you tried that.
I'm tuning it a little more. There we go. That sounds better to me. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm trying.
You just had like a whole lot of extra volume on that you didn't need. It was picking up everything. I don't hear it now. At least it's really quiet if it is there. No live chat yet, so I just lost all my chat by refreshing the screen.
Yeah.
Cheers. Let's go, Bean. I'm waiting. Needs this dab. Toxin free. Well, that's another thing is we're hoping this year is the year of you know everybody sort of waking up to not actually getting everything out of our foods like we're hoping that's the end goal, but waking a lot more people up to the fact that not everything in the grocery store is your friend,
Nope.
you know. And back to the pollinators, there's a lot of stuff that we grow that is nutritious that needs pollinators, and there's stuff that we grow that we don't really probably don't need to be growing that they could still that they wouldn't need pollinators for. Like, I mean, they truck in bees from all over the place to purposely pollinate fields. It's a whole thing that they do all over the country, and if we don't have bees, we can't even do that. But yet, we shouldn't have to do that. In my opinion, I feel like we should be able to, like nature should be able to pollinate. Although when you're talking about industrial agriculture, you're putting a lot more plants in one area than what would naturally have pollinators. I guess. Anyway, it's a big mess. I hope we can find. There are other pollinators besides bees, but we like the honey too, don't we? I mean, the honey is good for us in a lot of
I
ways.
don't like honey.
No?
Mm-mm.
What if it's like put in something you don't like that flavor at all, or you just don't?
Well, I don't mind it, like maybe if it's baked into something or cooked into something, but I just don't like the flavor of honey. And I've always been that way. I remember because I had to eat a diabetic diet when I was a kid because I have low blood sugar, and so like I had to do a low carb, high protein, no sugar diet, and I could have honey. And so
Nice.
we would go to like a health food store and stuff, and my mom would buy me treats there. And I never cared for the honey. And
The
still,
honey is carnivore.
huh?
Honey is a animal product. I think considered
Yeah.
carnivore.
But I didn't care for it. I've never, and to this day, I don't like the taste of honey. It just doesn't taste right to me.
Well, it's puked up from the bees like honey. sack or whatever that they.
Well, I get that, but still, I don't like the way it tastes.
I like it. You're weird.
I know. There's
I
a
don't. I okay. I'll give you this. You can get too. You can have too much honey. Like I'll have like a stint where I'll have like peanut butter and honey sandwiches and stuff, and then I'll get kind of sick of the honey. So I don't think it's not as versatile as sugar, and that's unfortunate because sugar. Well, okay, it's better for you obviously health wise. It's more beneficial, but it's not as versatile. You can't mix it with things and get a different flavor as easily as you can with sugar. Now you can get a lot of different flavors of honey, though, Kim. We did a little honey tasting
Mhm.
on the show. Luke brought over a bunch of different honey, and he actually brought over some honey that had some super hot peppers in it.
Yep.
And oh man, that shit! There was some heat on it. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
no, I get it. About the only thing that I'll eat that has honey in it, I think, is baklava. I think baklava is made with honey,
Is that like
but
a
even
chocolate thing?
it's a Greek pastry, like delicacy.
Pastry, yeah.
It's a
Hmm.
sweet thing, and I
Bless you.
like baklava, but I don't eat much of it because I don't like the honey. It's too I don't like it. But that's the only thing that I will eat that has like where you can taste the honey. Like I don't even like honey in my tea. Like I like to drink hot tea, but I don't sweeten my tea. I just drink my tea plain. But
I
I don't
like
even
sweet
like
tea.
I don't like tea with honey in it either. I
I
don't
like
like
sweet
it.
tea for my sweet pea. Oh, that's sorry. That's the little
Okay, you know
baby's
what I
name.
mean? That's a little too personal there, Waylon.
That's the little baby's name on Popeye.
Mm,
Sweet pea.
sweet
Oh,
pie.
yeah, but no, like honestly, like I'm super ready to be outside more. I honestly I don't like the rainy weather, which I just got. I just had my car washed and waxed, and then it rained. It's like the same day. I was like, oh man.
I don't
But
mind the rainy weather. I don't mind the rainy weather as long as it's not cold. I don't like cold rain.
I told so Bean finally saw it. I said I needs this dab. All right, so guys, if you haven't gotten the number yet, I'm gonna go check on that real quick while we're hanging out. Should be
Yeah, so I'm gonna go hiking this weekend, this Saturday.
all right. Hiking, huh? That sounds
Yeah,
like a good, well, tiring, but sounds like a good idea.
yeah, I love to hike. I haven't been able to do much of it the last few years because of my hip injury and stuff. So it's probably gonna kill me.
Be careful. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you're probably not gonna be used to it. Be
Mm-mm.
careful.
I know I'm probably gonna be huffing and puffing.
Well, you might want to take a vape or something. I'm just
Not that kind of huffing and puffing.
uh,
I'm probably
I
gonna
do. I want to get out.
so I don't have a friggin' heart attack.
That's why I like frisbee golf because it's like a little hike and you get to throw something the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we're going up in the mountains.
Yeah. Then you're talking the air thinner, air thickness or whatever altitude adjustment. There's a shirt right there. Altitude adjustment. Uh, all right, I'm gonna pull this up. Red Six. Who is the winner for the Boots to Bushes this
A
week?
gentleman out of Massachusetts, actually.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Massachusetts. I'm just gonna share this on the screen so that people that might be passing by will see it.
Smashley's there.
Smashly, Smash, come on up. Let's talk springtime, spring fever.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go.
that's my hot date that I was telling you about.
Oh, you guys. So yeah, we were talking about this briefly offline. Kim has getting that spring fever. She's got to get out of the house. She found herself a stallion to go trial. To go what's frolicking through the mountains? There's a word with a T I was trying to think of. I can't remember what it was. I was gonna mix frolicking with trotting. I think.
Trotting?
Yeah, trolicking is what I was thinking.
Frolicking?
Yeah, yeah.
I've
I
never
put them
heard of that
together. You know,
word, Waylon.
it's frolicking and trotting. You put them together. Oh. All right, here's the link if anyone wants to pop up. Not just old people, Lisa. What? Old people make hot tea with honey? Ah, come on. A lot of people use honey with tea. And they get an itchy throat. And ladies in the nursing home are big on hot drinks like that. Yeah, actually, it's really good. I think hot tea with honey when you have a throat itch. Good stuff. Let me put this up here while I'm doing this wheel real quick. All right. I gotta remember who won so far this week. I did 4 spins this week, and there's gonna be more prizes on the game night wheel. But the catch is, you will have to be there to win. I've been saying it all week, but I gotta make sure I remind as many people as possible. Game night is gonna be have to be there to win. At least until I decide I can't do that, but for now it's going to be like that because the more of you guys that hang out, the ones that are actually commenting and interacting, those will help the rest of the folks over there out there on Rumble to stop through and to hang out and see what the fuss is about. Smashley, come on up. You'll be there, Brenda. Okay.
Can I make brisket in a whatchamacallit?
Why
An
not?
air fryer?
I don't know. My air fryer has a bunch of different settings, so I guess you probably could.
Bean
Not
says,
working, Bean. Okay, let me put it in this chat. This actually helps people.
Don't
You
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 say
might
that?
have to go to the Rumble Studios app, Bean. What, Kim?
I don't know. Red Six said something.
Leslie said she finally made it here.
I'll send it
You
to you
can't tell.
on Facebook again. But that's it in the chat as well, Bean. I'll send it to you as also paste. I've been so parched waiting for this dab. Country Boy Weeds in the house. What's up, my guy? Shouts out to CBW. Are they going to give me an ad to read tonight? I guess not. It's okay. I've had a few this week, so I'm happy.
You know it's
Uh,
crazy. You know what's crazy about this date?
yeah. What's crazy? Yeah, I want to know a lot more about this date. I'm just trying to help him get out on the screen. So, what brought this about? Like, don't tell me the crazy part yet. I need to know the details here. Was this someone you knew previously?
So this is the guy that's doing the warranty work at my house.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Gonna
So
get that deal.
trying to get the extra discount.
I'm not like that. I'm not like
Yes,
that.
sir.
I pay for my shit. But
Okay.
anyway, he spent a lot of time here because like that flood fucked up a lot of stuff. And so he's been at my house like a lot. And we just talk a lot. We get along really good and whatever. And he started flirting with me and at first I was like, is this guy flirting with me?
You
Like
were
I'm
trying to
obtuse
recognize it.
to that stuff. Well, no, I'm just obtuse to that shit, you know? And then I was like, he's flirting with me? But he's like 20 years younger than I am. He's your age, Waylon.
Oh, snap. Are we frozen, guys? They're saying we're frozen. Is it going
I'm
to do this
not.
to us again?
I'm not frozen.
Still playing on mine.
Let me go. Check.
Let's see.
He has
Looks
seven
good to me.
kids.
Looks good to me.
7.
7 kids.
7 kids, Kim?
Yes. that
Are
ranged from the age of 22 to 5.
oh wow,
Yeah.
man! I wish I had 7 kids.
It only gets confusing at Christmas time.
What?
Said it only gets confusing at Christmas time.
Why is that?
The age difference.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big gap in kids.
Well,
But
I had that gap in my family. My oldest brother was 23 years older than I am. He died last year.
man,
Yeah, and then his brother, my other oldest brother, was 4 years younger than him. So he was 18, 19 years older than me. He graduated high school in May before I was born. My second oldest brother, and then my sister was 17 years older than me,
She sounds like
and
about
then
like my family.
my other three sisters range in the eight from, well, the one that just died, she was in her late 60s, but the other two are in the mid 70s. And then my brother that's closest to me in age, well, Kim, the one that died, was closest to me in age, but she was out of the house before I came along. And then Mike is my brother that he's 70. They were all grown and out of the house before I came along.
You're the baby.
Yeah, I was raised like an only child.
You were
I'm
the
closer in
oops.
age to my nieces and nephews than I am my own siblings.
I've seen that where you have like an uncle that's younger than you. You know,
yeah.
oh, don't be a menace to South Central. You got where you got your dad that's younger than you. Oh, that's different. I think that's different. Check this out, Red. I don't want to. I don't want to drop that nice fatty.
Nice.
Some diamonds. You can't see it, but those are diamonds
Where'd you get that at?
from Drizzle Dab. Shouts out to drizzledab.com. Use code WTIF15 for a discount. This is
He's going to be at the event on the 27th.
okay.
You're coming, right?
Yeah, I'm counting on that one.
All right.
There's a few other options in between. This is what he gets. He said.
I
Are you
think we're
floating
going
down
to.
the river again?
Uh, hmm. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that's in June, I think.
June.
So Bean is getting an error. I don't know what it looks like on the phone when you click that link.
Is he in the group chat?
He is, but he said he showed me a picture of what he gets, and it's like there's nothing there.
Huh.
But I don't think he's on the Rumble Studios app, which he needs to just copy the link and go to Rumble Studios or click the
Moody
link
dude
from
had to get
inside.
up here in the lap. This is Max.
Pootie Doo? Oh, I thought you called it.
I call him Moodle,
Oh, snap. That's
which
a
is
hell of a nickname.
a combination of the moody dude because he's very moody. You gonna get seen there, Max?
So let's take this a little further. So you were talking to him, and he's been
Yeah,
flirting
we
with
just
you.
have like really great conversations, like all the time. Like we sit there and we talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And all of a sudden I started realizing that he was flirting with me and I thought, what the hell? Because I'm a lot older.
Well, he's looking
But
for experienced mother with 7 kids with the seven kids. He's not looking for some amateur.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm super experienced with all
He's
of
like,
that.
you're a teacher. Oh, and special needs. Oh, that's even better.
No. But so anyway, yeah.
Right? At least it says, hope you can handle 7 more kids. Well, that is something to think about.
Well,
You
a lot of them are like So his two daughters are like 20 and 22. So two of them are older. So I wouldn't have to.
You can request to join if you like, Elisa.
Yeah,
And
that's
then he's got three older sons. What are you growling at?
Bean might have to update the app or something.
He has three older sons that are 13 through, I don't know, like 15. Hey, no, no, no. Be
No,
nice.
no, 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 no.
So he's got three teens, and then he's got a 7 year old and a 5 year old.
7 and 5.
I love kids, man. Like I don't want to, I never wanted to be pregnant again. I hated being pregnant, but I love kids as long as they're not little assholes. If they're little assholes, then I don't like them so much.
We
But
need to tackle this subject one day of the IVF or the surrogate mother surrogacy or whatever.
yeah,
That would be an interesting topic. I need to write that down.
yeah.
Whether people believe that's if it's okay to rent the person's body like that or not.
I think it's choice. You know, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that really want kids that can't have them, and it's heartbreaking because I've met people that just couldn't. They were, they just had too many problems. Like my sister was only ever able to have one child. She wanted more kids. But we have like some genetic stuff that runs in our female reproductive whatever. And like with my sister, the way hers went was she had to have multiple surgeries to open up her fallopian tubes. Her fallopian tubes wouldn't open. And so she underwent a bunch of surgeries and she was finally able to get pregnant with my nephew. And then I was a little kid, so I don't really remember
Well,
the
hell, I
whole.
know how to open a fallopian tube. You just put the air compressor down there and and you just got to blow and okay. So Smashley said yes. Said hope it's an amazing date. I do too. Going on a hiking date though, as your first date,
Well, so
off into the woods where no one knows whether you're there. Are you gonna have GPS?
oh my God, where we're going, like I grew up in that area. Like I hiked all over those mountains.
Okay.
So,
Is
and
anyone
he's done a
is
lot of
anyone gonna
hiking
know?
too. So,
Make sure someone knows you're in there
yeah, no, I will.
alone with
I'm not
local
afraid of
authorities.
him. I'm not afraid of him.
Hey, those are the scariest type.
He should be afraid of me.
Those are the scariest type.
Like right now, I'm wearing, it looks like a mini skirt, but it's not. It's a skirt. I wear a lot of skirts. And he goes, "Look at you wearing a mini skirt today." And I said, "Oh, it's not a skirt." And I pulled the skirt up and I said, "It's a skirt." And he goes, "Oh." I said, "I never wear anything this short without it being a skirt." And he's like, "Why?" Because you're a teacher? And I says, "No, because when I was in the military, when I was 19 years old, me and some friends went into a nightclub and I had a mini skirt on. It came to just above my knee. And some drunk motherfucker stuck his hand up the back of my skirt.
Woo.
And he looked at me like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh my God." And I said, "Yeah, you should see my response." He goes, "What'd you do?" And I said, so I got in front of him, like where the guy would have been, and I turned around and I grabbed him by the throat and I slammed him up against the wall and started squeezing his windpipe.
I feel like I'm missing some details in this.
That's what you
So
get.
he reached up in your hoo ha and you found your
I came around like this with my left
grabbed him by the
hand and
throat.
I
Okay.
grabbed him by the throat and I slammed him up against the wall and I was squeezing his windpipe.
Put the thumb right in the. Don't do
Yep.
that. Don't do that, kids at home. No, I was gonna joke like he found your penis is what happened. He reached in there. Diane, hello.
It
Diane, we
sounds
were
funky,
talking
all right.
about
I'm not sure that he got a lot of thrill out of it, unless he's one of those people that likes to be choked when they're
just
having
it,
sex.
it reminds me of that movie. Was it what was that movie with Patrick Swayze and the couple other guys?
Oh, Roadhouse.
No, where they dress up as women, where they're cross
Oh,
dressers.
I was thinking
Tu
Roadhouse.
Wong Fu or
That
something
was
like
where
that.
he tore that guy's throat out.
It's I think it's called Tu Wong Fu, where
Yeah.
this drunk guy at a club fills him up and reaches in reaches into his skirt and, and finds out real quick he doesn't into Patrick Swayze's skirt and finds out that's not what he Smashy said. Go Kim. Yeah, well we're gonna see what happens on the next episode of
You should have seen
uh,
the night that my landlord's brother-in-law, who would come to my door every night at 9 o'clock, ring the bell. I don't know what he wanted because I would never answer the door, but it was my landlord's twin sister's husband would come to my door every night around 9 o'clock and ring my doorbell. And one night it was 4th of July weekend. I don't remember if it was 4th of July night. I don't remember now, but I was having a hard time going to sleep. It was a really restless night. And so my bedroom, the window was right by my bed and it went down the side of the house to the gate and out into the front yard. So I'm laying there and my neighbor would frequently be out there late at night. They were Asian and they would go out and they had a little fish fire and they would cook fish on the outside of their their house right there out next to their garage frequently. And so I'm laying there aware. I wasn't asleep, I wasn't awake, but I'm laying there aware and I hear the gate open. And I didn't think anything of it because I thought it was my neighbors. And it wasn't until I heard the garage door at the side of the house opening and I knew whoever it was in my house because I had a bag, a really large bag full of aluminum cans
bumped
hanging
into the
on the door
cans.
handle, and I heard the
Nice.
can. And I sat up in bed and I was like, son of a bitch, they're in my house. Whoever that is in my house. And I sat up and my gun was away. And I thought, I'm not going to trust that I'm going to be able to squeeze off a bullet accurately. My phone was in the kitchen charging, and I couldn't get from my bedroom to the kitchen because the door to the garage opened directly across from my bedroom. So I have this big old knife, this big knife that's got a blade about this long. That was
That's a knife.
my great uncle survived the Bataan Death March, and he brought it back with him. I don't know the story behind it. It's not a military. It's not an American military issued weapon. But anyway, I have possession of that knife, and it sleeps next to my bed. So I got up out of my bed really quick with the knife and I went to the wall. The wall kind of like it came in and then it angled and then it went that way. So I squished up against the angle with the knife over my head like this, standing there waiting to see if they what the hell was going to happen. And the guy walked in. So you walk in through the door from the garage, you walk through this hallway where the laundry room was at, and then you walk into the hallway that would walk directly into my room, or it would shoot off going this way into the rest of the house. And when he got to a certain point in that hallway, the light from a street light at the back of my house, I had this humongous window, was shining through that window. And when I saw him and saw who it was, I got mad and I popped the light on and I jumped out in front of him like this. I'm like, what are you doing in my house? And I probably looked like shit because I'd been trying to sleep. I'd had that pillow over my head and my hair was going all over the place. I probably looked like a crazy woman with that
Oh,
knife. Scared the fuck out of him. He stood there, his mouth dropped, his jaw dropped to the floor, his eyes got really big, and he left a piss puddle on my floor and ran out.
And then he came back the next day to help sell you insurance on the house.
Fuck no. I was
Or
pissed. 'Cause after he took off
just
like that, like I was pacing. I had so much energy. I had adrenaline going, and
I was making a connection
what
to your
the hell do
date,
I do?
Kim.
What the hell do I do? You know? And so I called my landlord, and she didn't answer the phone, but I called her and I left her a message, and I said, your brother-in-law was just in my house. He came
Wow.
in the house without my permission. He came in through the side door in the garage, used his key to get in at 1 o'clock to whatever time it was in the morning. And
What
then
was
they
he
gave
trying to do? Steal from
him,
you?
fuck if I know. No, I think he was there for sex, dude. Because he came to my damn door every damn night around 9 o'clock every night.
One
What
that
the
he
hell
wanted
else would somebody come in your house in the middle of the night for?
to steal.
I don't think he was there to steal. I really don't. I think he was there for sex.
One of those midnight, or
And you know the thing is I had never like flirted with him or anything. He had been at my house one time to fix something, like a few weeks before all of that started. He had been there to fix some things at the house. And the whole time he was there, I was talking on the phone to my friend back here in Las Cruces. This was out in California. I was talking to my friend on the phone in Las Cruces the whole time he was there. I didn't have like a personal conversation with him. It was open the door. Oh, hey, yeah, okay, the thing's over here. Let me show you. Showed him to it. And then, like, all of a sudden, he starts showing up at my house late at night. You tell me. I don't know. I'm just assuming he was there for sex.
maybe he thought you. He saw a look and he thought, yeah, she wants it. I don't know. I'm just those guys are creeps, man. Like Lisa said, creeper,
I don't know.
creeper.
I don't know, but he found out that I'm not the one to fuck with.
FAFO.
Yep.
FAFO.
Fuck around and
Speaking of,
find out.
oh, actually, that's my Facebook. We want
Yeah, so I'm
my
not worried about this
wheel.
guy. Like, he's not like that. Like, I've spent so much time around this guy. Like, it's not, I don't know him to know well enough whether he's a decent human to date or not, but I'm not afraid of him. So,
Well, I mean, he sounds like he's well. I guess I didn't ask this yet. How many mothers?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think just two,
Okay, that's not bad.
but
I
I'm
mean,
not for sure. Maybe three. Because he got married, his first baby mama, he was 18. So, and I think he married her. And then I think he got married again. I don't know. Yeah, no, I think he's been married twice and he's had a baby mama. So, anyway, I ain't going to be his baby mama. I don't have that equipment anymore.
mamas. I am for real. I never meant to. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, here we go. What do we got? 18, number 18?
18.
18. All right, let's find out who won.
Who's 18?
Not me.
That's the last spin. Now the number wheel, you won't have to be there to win the number wheel as long as you get in on the post and get yourself a number. But game night is a little different. We'll have to be here for that. Mama Rochi. Mama
Nice.
Rochi. She's busy. They're doing their show right now. Number 18. Mama Rochi. Cool. And let's put that down on the list of coupons. Yeah, all in all, I think it's a good. It's springtime's usually a good feeling. It's usually a positive time. It's a time of like
Oh, I
uh,
love it. I love everything
possibilities.
back to life, and
Yeah, there's like a buzz
I
to
have
that.
this rolling. I have this wire. I don't know what you call it. Rack. It's a
Oh
big
snap!
wire rack, and it's on wheels, and I have a bunch of plants on it right by my front door. And there's a dove on the top of it that's nested up there. She's got a nest, and I love that. I love how I don't know. I just love that, like the little babies and just the rebirth of everything, little baby bunnies and stuff. And
My mom had me stop by. We went to Walmart because the pet store seems to only have them in singles, but she feeds all these birds outside of her house. Like that's her vice now. She calls it. I'm like, oh, I would call it more of a hobby, mom, but yeah, it's a little bit of a vice when you're feeding like two of these seed blocks a day plus the seeds and like three or four other that you pour in. And I mean, there's this woodpecker that has to fight off these other little blackbirds, and there's this whole like ecosystem happening outside my mom's house where she's got birds great going crazy.
yeah,
Um,
stuff like that gives people a lot of joy. Several years ago, I have these big, tall planters. Like about, they're like at least 36 inches high. And, and they're deep, and I plant a bunch of stuff in them. And so I've got well, I have three of them, but I only put dirt and soil in two of them and grow stuff in them. But anyway, they were in my backyard one year. This was 2019, and the spring summer of 2019. And so I would go out in my backyard, and every time I go out and walk around my back porch into the yard, this fucking bird would flush out of there, and it would scare the shit out of me because it was nesting in there. And so finally one day, after several times of this doing this, over several days of it doing this, I was like, what the fuck is that bird doing in there? So I went over there and I looked, and it was a quail's nest, and there are like
oh,
11 to 15 little quail eggs in there. And I was like, oh, it's a quail. I love quail. I think they're just the cutest birds. And
oh, you can eat those quail eggs for breakfast.
yeah, not me. I'm allergic to eggs. So
What?
yeah, I'm allergic to eggs.
I I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Gives me hives and makes me very sick.
All eggs
All
can't have
eggs.
like ostrich egg or no
And eggs and eggs and egg. It's the
monkey
protein.
egg. No, okay.
Monkey egg.
Well,
What?
turtle egg maybe, shark egg.
Yeah, I don't care for roe. I'm not a big fish eater. But anyway, so this fucking bird would flush out, and so then I was like, oh, cool, So I just started being mindful, and I tried not to go out there very often to disturb her, so she could do her business. So one night I was sitting out on the back porch, and it was closed in, and so I'm sitting on the back porch, minding my business, and I start seeing these little baby birds along the edges of my back porch because the back porch had lattice around the bottom of it. And I started seeing something move, and I was like, what the hell is that? And so I was like looking down there. It's dark at night, right? And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I'm looking at it, and they were little baby quail. So I got the pleasure for how many ever weeks of having these little baby quail be bopping around in my backyard until, they got big enough that they were able to get wings and fly out of there with their parents. But it was cool. It was a cool
Mm,
experience. I had a
that's good.
snake. I had a baby snake back there one time. I caught it.
Ooh,
This
that's
was
good
during the
eating.
pandemic. I caught the baby snake, and I had these neighbors. They had the cutest little kids. And so I caught the snake, and I said, hey, I can't remember what his name was. I said, hey, I said, you want to see a snake? And he comes over and he's like, yeah. So I was like showing him this. It was a rat snake. It was only
I get in
maybe.
trouble when I ask that question. Go ahead.
Put that
Come
anecdote
here.
away.
Let's go
So
hiking so I can show you this snake.
so anyway, so he's like, "Oh, can I take it to show my wife?" So I handed it to him, and they were all. And then he brought it back to me, and I let it loose and let it go do its thing. But it was cool. I had all kinds of wildlife.
Yeah,
That
some of
was
that you got to be
hard.
you really got to know the wildlife around your area too. Like people, or if you go vacationing, like you really you better pay attention because it's going to be different wildlife that could just like you go to like Australia, you could be boxing the kangaroo all of a sudden, or
Yeah, and
down
those
to
things.
Florida. Don't they have a lot of gators in Florida still, or did they get rid of all the
No,
gators?
they have a lot of gators. Gators and snakes. They got hella snakes down there.
So we were making I was making a joke earlier, spring fever, and you going on a date, but like it's a real thing. Like springtime is when a lot of animals are getting busy, right? Isn't it spring or is it? Am I wrong? Is it fall? Springtime, right?
Spring is typically, I don't know, it's a big mating season.
Mating season, baby.
I will say that
Get it?
I think I was fertile, probably most fertile in the springtime because I used to get these urges. And I wasn't married and I wasn't nasty, so I wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't I'm not a nasty
Not
person.
nasty? Ah,
Yeah. But I would get I remember one time my son was in the hospital up in Albuquerque and I was like, oh, I had urges so bad.
spring
And
babies. Yeah.
I used to smoke, and I was sitting out on this patio at the hospital smoking, and the custodian came out there, and I was looking at him real hard.
Like you
I
felt
didn't do
like a
anything, but
cougar ready to pounce. Maybe
yeah, I don't know.
you ever felt like a cat like creature, like a cougar, maybe.
No, I'm a dragon person.
Okay, more of a dragon. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dragon. I usually you use the term dragon when we're talking about somebody's breath. You
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be.
No.
Wouldn't that be so weird to like to if humans hibernated for 3 months? You know, like we do
We,
hibernate, but we
we
don't
kind of do.
like we do, but we don't like sleep. What I mean is like a bear. Like
Yeah.
you literally like sleep for like 2 months straight, like Rip Van Winkle style every year. Like, could you imagine? Like, whoa, no way I get pregnant for all three of my children in October. Okay, okay, so I was wrong. Spring is when the babies are coming through, coming in, coming in hot. That's what I learned in Bambi anyway. In the movie Bambi, really taught you what happens. Springtime, babies come up, then they get shot. You got to run away. You know,
For me,
it's
it
real.
was like I would get these urges in March.
You're
And
like,
Taylor, that's when I got pregnant with my son, was in March because he was born in December.
I
I know
want.
exactly
Hmm,
when I got pregnant.
wonder if there's like a yearly cycle
Yeah.
for different people. But for the most part, yes, I think they're right. Though a lot of times, winter is when, like November or whatever, is when you see pregnancies uh, conceived, and then springtime
You see a
comes
lot of
through.
Valentine's Day babies. And I don't mean babies born on Valentine's Day, but babies that are created on Valentine's Day. It's like in November.
Smashy says it's those F me eyes, like these.
Those are crazy eyes.
Were you kind of like, you had
No,
like the pheromones going and just kind of, you could
no,
smell the,
I'm very subtle. Like I just have urges, but I don't, like you would never know it. I'm not. I don't flirt the way that I don't know. I'm not your typical female, I guess.
When it starts getting cold, yeah, Diane, that's when you want to snuggle up and find some warm, big burly man. That's you. Well, I can only speak for me anyway. Slight difference. Smashley, Smashley, come on up. Somebody come on up. Where is Bean Dongo at? He still couldn't find his way on. I'm very saddened by this. 22 awesome rumblers watching. None of you all want to pop up and, give us your springtime hibbity jibbity. Everybody's excited about having some nicer weather. Elisa May's got some yard tools and equipment to get some awesome work done outside the house. What's your favorite thing about spring?
Favorite thing about spring?
In the comments below, tell us. And while Kim pontificates, wants to find a big burly man. Hey, look, let's not dwell on it too long. I'm just going to do this other dab. I'm busy here. Well, I mean, look, there's part of this winter time where, yeah, if I had a nice. Actually, what I wish my husky was more cuddly. She's not much. She's not a cuddly dog. She wants me to. She'll cuddle as long as I'm rubbing her
My,
tummy.
my
And as
cat.
soon as I.
Weimaraner, dude. Weimaraners are like they're the
That
biggest
dog.
damn lap dogs.
Yeah, well, I have to keep going. Like I can't take a nap
What?
with cuddling with her. If I fall asleep and leave my hand there for too long, she'll be pawing at me to keep going. Like I can't keep going. I'm done.
Wow.
I'm done.
Red Six, you have a Weimaraner, right?
Yeah,
Is yours a big lap dog?
she's right outside the door.
Yeah. They, they'll cuddle with you. Like they will. They're big babies.
Yeah,
Like they're super chill. They are the chillest, not chill dog you will ever find. They have more fucking energy than I don't know what, but they're very athletic, energetic dogs, but they will chill just as hard as they'll play or expend energy. And
Well, if you run them the right,
huh?
those kind of dogs. You just got you run them right. Got to run them. Got to give them some
Well,
outlet.
of
Yeah.
course.
yeah.
It's funny. The other day we were outside in the backyard, and my backyard is all nasty dirt. And so we were out there, and like I do this thing where I like stalk her, and then I'll go rah, 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 like that, and I'll like stomp at her, and she starts running around like crazy as hell. And it's funny watching her run because she runs so fast. She'll tuck her butt up and just like run fast. Like I don't know how to explain it. But Max was standing there, the little Shih Tzu was standing there, and he's watching her run like crazy. And she ran and she bowled him over. I mean, she went like tumbling across the yard. It was crazy. She's crazy. She's a crazy fucking dog.
They look
Crazy.
like they're going to hurt themselves, and maybe sometimes they do, but they can take a lot. They can take a lot of I don't know, rough housing.
Well, Weimaraners were bred to hunt everything. They're one of the most versatile hunting dogs because they were in the breeding is the Vizsla, which is the lion hound, or their Vizslas are bred to hunt lions. So they're fierce, big game bears, everything down to birds, being retriever dogs for birds. They're versatile hunting dogs, and they're uber smart. But
They drive Uber? No, sorry.
yeah, I'll never forget one night. This is my last Weimaraner I had, KK. I was out one day.
KK?
KK. Well, her name was Kea, but I called her KK.
Like
And
my other dog named K. I'm just kidding.
well, so anyway, I was out. I had been weed eating and I had to go in and fix Taylor dinner. So I went in and I fixed him dinner and I went back outside to finish weed eating and it was starting to get dark. And so Kaya's out there with me and she was kind of at the front of the house and I saw her come around the side of the house and I could tell she was stalking something. And I was like, what the hell is she after? I thought it was a bug. And so she's like focused on whatever the hell it was, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching her. I stopped weeding and I was like watching her. I was like, what is she getting after? And all of a sudden, man, she just lightning like this and grabs it and shakes it. And I was like, drop it, because I didn't know what the hell she got a hold of. And it was a rat. She killed a rat.
You dirty rat!
Yep.
You killed my brother.
Every spring, we had this toad frog that lived in the yard. And every spring, she would go after that toad frog and it would pee in her mouth and she'd drop it and her mouth would get all foamy. So,
She get tripping for
well, I don't know that she
I don't,
would then, but she would get pee in her mouth and
supposed
then
to
she wouldn't
supposed to
fuck.
lick a toad and you can trip. She
Well,
lick a toad or something.
she didn't want to touch it after it peed in her mouth. She'd leave it
Yeah,
alone after that. But every year she'd go after this stupid damn toad frog.
that's smart for an animal.
And yeah.
That's
So
smart.
how is it
I'll
smart?
piss. I'll piss in your mouth if you try eating me, mother.
Oh yeah, well that's one of their defense mechanisms. But
Yeah.
anyway, so the last time she got a hold of it, this was before we moved to California. So I'm out in the yard getting my garden stuff ready, and there's the toad frog, and here's KK. And you could see this dog calculating. She was exceptionally smart. She is probably one of the smartest dogs I have ever encountered in my life. And I've been around a lot of different animals. She's a fucking intelligent dog. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching her, and she's looking at this toad frog, and you can tell she's calculating on how to get that frog. And I told her, I says, KK, leave that toad alone. You're gonna get him, and he's gonna pee in your mouth just like he does every year, and you're gonna get your mouth all foamy and all disgusted. And so, and she's not listening to me because she's focused on this toad frog. And within a matter of minutes, she gets a hold of it. It pees in her mouth. She drops it. Her mouth foams up, and then she doesn't fuck with the frog anymore after that. But you could see her calculating how she was going to get that damn thing, trying to figure out how to get that frog.
R. Kelly, the frog version.
Yeah, I guess. She was a trip, man. She knew her ball colors. Used to at Walmart, you could go to like where they have the like tennis balls and stuff. She loved the ball, man. That dog was a ball loving dog. And I would, but she would pop them. Like she would sit there and she would chew them until they pop, and then she didn't mess with them anymore.
Yeah,
So
I mean they're not fun.
tennis balls like crazy. But I'd go to Walmart and I'd buy these big packages. They had like 20 tennis balls in them, but they had them like black ones, red ones, blue ones, black, red, green ones, black, green, red. There were 5 colors in them, and there were like 5 balls each. And so I would buy this big packet of balls, and I would, throw one of each color out in the yard, and I would tell her, KK, go get your blue ball. She would go until she
Oh,
found and wouldn't come back until she brought back the blue ball. And people didn't believe me when I told them that she knew her ball colors. I don't know how she knew them, but she knew her ball colors. And so this friend of mine came over one day and I said, watch this. We're outside. And I said, KK, go get your blue ball. And she starts looking. And I said, I didn't do anything. I just sat there like this, very calmly. And I said, I think it's on the other side of the yard. She goes to the other side of the yard. A couple of minutes later, she comes back with the blue ball. She hands me the blue ball. We throw it for a minute. I said, KK, go get the red ball. She went, she got the red ball, brought it back, same thing. KK, go get your black ball. She
huh.
go back, go get her black. I'm telling you, that dog fucking knew her colors. I don't know how she knew it, but she
I
knew
was
them.
trying to figure out why it was relevant, what color the balls were, but you were just like, I was like, wow, she remembers the color of the balls. That was crazy, but then it was like, well, it makes a lot of sense that you would when that kind of thing happened. That's crazy, yeah. Dogs definitely don't normally aren't normally known for seeing color. Like,
I don't know how she knew. She was just super. She was a smart dog. I used to run the ditch banks out here well, out where I lived out in the country, and I used to run the ditch banks when I was running, and I would take her with
No.
me. And so there's this, we go down the paved road, and then you go up the ditch bank, and when you crest the ditch bank, you could see it right over where the gates to the ditch were at, and the water would be whirling and twirling. Well, one day we came up, we crested over it, and there were some ducks in there. And of course, she flushed them, and they took off, flew off. Every time we went to that ditch bank, she never forgot. Every time we go to that ditch bank, she always looked for those ducks. She didn't do that with any other ditch bank. She always looked for them in that ditch bank. She never forgot, ever. It's crazy. She's a smart
Yeah,
dog. She had a
that is
tremendous memory.
crazy. So guys, they did open up uh, a read for us, but I want to get people on the wheel for a door prize. You will have to be here to win this, but I want to see hashtag PITB in the comments. Anybody that's still here and wants to get on the door prize wheel, and let's just hit these comments and hit that reshare if you can on the Rumble. You have to put a title in there when you do that, and it goes into a special feed of reshared videos. But yeah, let's try to pump it up before I read this 1775 coffee ad one more time. I'll read this son of a bitch every show I have for $1. It will pay for my Rumble Premium. Thank you guys for listening to the ad over and over. But hell, they are trying to give away a lot of money, so I mean, it's cool too. Yeah, let's see a hashtag PITB in the comments if you would like to get on this wheel here. Not that wheel, but well, I guess I can use this wheel since we're done with the numbers. Margaret, DC, DC, you're welcome to come up, man. Nobody else would come up tonight on People in the Boxes except for our core team. All right, let's go. DC, what was it? DC and Margaret. Yes. Diane. Why is this so small over here? Okay. Somebody's got a feedback. Okay, it went away. It went away. Sounds like there was a TV or something. See, Margaret. Got everybody so far. 24 people in the Rumble. Oh, allow. Sorry, Smashley. I didn't see that until just now. Sorry. Is Smashley back there still? She is. Okay.
Hey, it,
My bad. It doesn't make a noise. It's just I have to see that there's somebody trying to get in. I had to put that on because I did this early on, like a few weeks ago, and some random like
my allergies are awful right now.
back to the topic. I see. Good job. Good idea. Yes, allergies right now are just terrible. But what are you doing for that? Are you doing your stinging nettle tincture?
I am. They've been bad the past couple days because I went to my friend's house and she has bunnies because she does like meat bunnies, and I'm severely allergic to bunnies.
Oh man.
Oh
Unfortunately, I
wow.
fucking love them. They're so cute. I actually used to have one, and I didn't develop allergies until like 2 years later.
Ooh.
And now I'm like super allergic. I didn't even touch them. I was just in the same room as them, and it's still affecting me.
Yeah.
Mama Rochi, I had to put you on the wheel because
Mama Rochi.
only a handful of people have hit the hashtag yet so far. Nobody come over to Rumble and hashtag
Nobody.
PITB.
Oh,
All
can
right.
I smoke now, or you'd wait until the after show these days?
I usually wait, but
Okay, I can wait. It's cool.
I am smoking. I have done a couple dabs already. I just do them right off the camera here to the side.
All right, I can do
I
that.
am
Suck
not
on a pipe down
necessarily.
below.
Nah, okay. Let me just explain. Let me explain. I don't think it's that big of a deal on Rumble, but I am. Uh, so I do 5 shows a week. So if 90% of my content is more acceptable, you know what I'm saying. So like,
Yeah,
I hate to keep comparing myself to Joe Rogan all the time, but Rogan's not like chonging on a bong on every episode. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like every so often, he's got guests on that are like, hey, can we have a spliff, or can I? Like he was smoking like a cigar last time I was watching some
Yeah,
clip of his. I'm like, that's fine. Like it's just that he's not like a in your face about it with the big which is sad though, because him passing a joint back and forth is less healthy than it is to be using a rig with water and stuff like that. But then there's the other factor of the after show being something that I've actually been having a lot of fun having this private place where we can talk a little more openly about different things happening, and I can also like we can put up different like music that we don't have to worry about infringing on copyrights and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun in the after show. So I do look forward to doing some dabs in the after show like that. But people in the boxes is a little different because there's you guys come up and it's a little bit. I was going to do a dab with Bean, but he was having some technical problems. I'm glad to see that you made it up. I'm putting you guys on here too, though, because I
You got
forget that. Huh?
you got Brenda on there.
Brenda, I'll get Brenda right now. And I think that's it. I want at least 6 people, and we got that. Nobody though. I saw nobody on the YouTube. Not sure if you're coming over to the Rumble or not. Might want to wait a second. We are at 25 now, so before we do the spin, let's do this read. Should be, for some reason it went back to $1, but that's okay. $1's better than nothing. Let's check it out. 17. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on in. Hit that like button if you guys haven't. If you would, please. Thank you very much. Now let's read this ad real quickly before we do the spin. All right. You guys know the deal. Weak coffee is for the weak. And at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity, just like 1775 coffee. You know this one. Come on, Smashley. You've heard me say it about 12 times now, but I'm going to keep reading it as long as they offer it up. It's single origin, small farm, hand picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness and vitality mushroom blend. Real energy and lasting focus, no synthetic garbage. For K cups, pods, whole bean, or fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use code STUDIO for 15% off and start your morning with the coffee that stands for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash. And let's complete that. All right. Thank you for the $1.05, everyone. Appreciate that.
whoop whoop.
Could you imagine if the bigger shows like did that? They said what they made off the ad they just read. All right, everyone. Thank you for that. 1 minute, I just made $10,000. Like some of the really
Right.
big ones. Like,
There's no money.
whoa. Okay. I figured they'd come over by the time I read the ad. Cool. All right. So, Smashley, you're, in transitioning other things, moving and such, but is there anything this spring that you're looking forward to? like you normally would on springtime?
Gardens.
Well, okay, getting
Doing.
outside.
I'm bringing all my gardens over.
So
Getting
all the
seeds
towers, okay.
planted. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
are you gonna do like a in the ground garden as well? Things
Yeah.
like
Yep.
pumpkins and whatnot.
Yep.
Good luck, everybody.
Yep.
I
And then we
did.
want to do like a farmer's stand in the town because we're gonna be like I'll be more in town area, so closer quarters to neighbors. So we're gonna
Ah,
lure them all into the farmer's stand.
there you go. Okay, so there's gonna be a little more traffic, little more reason to have
Yeah.
something up. You have to be careful though. Check out your cottage laws and stuff because like you got to be careful nowadays. Some places like you can't even have you can't have little girls making a lemonade stand in some
Oh
places
right,
now.
yeah.
You know, like there's different rules and shit. Do you have your lemonade stand permit? Like what?
Yeah, I probably should look into those.
That's crazy how people are nowadays.
I know, such sticklers.
Looks like you're gonna win, nobody. The only person that had to ask, did you put me on the wheel? And here
You
you
like
are to
emphasize the
win.
no, nobody. Good.
Oh, right there. Wow. Right on the edge.
Woo.
Holy shit. Well, congratulations, Brenda. I see that you're here, but I'm sure he did. Yeah, I did. I did. Thank you, everybody, for that. And look, oh, now we're all regular for at least a minute. Look at this. We're normal. I get to be regular sized. Love it.
What do you mean?
I've been extra big screen the whole show.
Oh, I can't tell. All I can see is the wheel.
You can see the wheel.
Yeah.
There's no wheel on the screen.
Well, it says indoor farmer and it's pointing at very close to nobody. Now I can see everybody.
Wow, there's some kind of lag on your. You might be watching the actual Rumble feed.
I don't know. I just clicked on whatever freaking link you sent.
I don't know. That's interesting. Where our audio is our audio is up to speed. That's interesting. Well, I think I need to do another dab. Might fix it.
Dab will
What do you
do
think?
it.
You
Ha!
think so? That's
Dab will do
cool.
it.
Yeah, congrats, Brenda. I forgot. Let me write this down here.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop down, guys. I gotta get some dinner in me before I go.
All right, brother. Thank you
Have a
again.
good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, hit me up this weekend. See what's up. I'm going to. Well, I'll tell you about it. See you
All right, everybody have a good night.
You too.
later.
Peace.
I'm so excited.
You just can't hide it.
Just can't
You
hide
got
it.
spring fever and a date up in the mountains and a.
No, I I adopted this cat in January, and I purposely adopted it because it was a what they term a vicious cat because it like would attack humans and it would attack other
Hmm.
animals. And I knew it would be euthanized, so I adopted it. And I thought, well, if I can't get it to be a nice cat, then it'll just live out its years here in my house at peace, you know? And so every day I go in and I feed it, and I go in periodically and clean its litter box, change his water. And when I go in, I just say, "Hey, Alan, meow meow," like that, and I'll try to pet him. And sometimes he'd let me scratch his cheek or whatever. And so the last couple of weeks, he's like let me pick him up. Like I would pick him up because to show him his food. Because if I leave food down, we have ants and the ants will get it. So I try to get him to eat his food as quickly as possible. So I've been able to pick him up and I'll love on him a little bit until he's like, okay, that's enough, lady, kind of a thing. And I'll put him down and give him his food and, leave him alone. So Wednesday, I went to walk in there because I needed to clean out his litter box, and so I walked in, and he met me at the door, and he meowed at me, and I said, "Hey, Alan," and he started rubbing my on my ankles, and he'd never done that before.
That's a great sign.
Yeah, so I squatted down and I started petting him and he started purring. And I was like, oh my God, this cat's purring. So I,
Made a
you know,
breakthrough.
yeah. And so I cleaned out the
Shit.
litter box, and then I came back and I laid on the floor with him and he cuddled with me and he let me scratch his belly. So he's starting to,
That's great. So I
yeah.
feel like feral cats are really just super fucking traumatized cats.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't a feral cat. He was an owner surrender because he was
Okay.
attacking everything. So I'm not quite sure what happened to him, but it wasn't good.
Hmm.
And I'm pretty sure he was probably abused.
I had a
Yeah.
cat that came from a litter that was found. So they found this litter like outside of someone's home, and it wasn't their cat. So it was a wild cat that had left the litter there, and so then I ended up with one of those cats, and that cat was very sort of primal. I describe it like whole life would like stalk around the house like it was looking for prey, like it was like a wild, kind of
He was
feel.
a survivor.
But the cat loved me. It just would like it would fuck up anyone that didn't know.
I had a
Yeah.
cat growing up that would like
Good
sit
night,
under
Mama
the
Rochi.
table and growl at me and hiss every time I would walk by because he'd sneak outside sometimes. And my mom told me to get him in, and I would use the hose because he wouldn't listen to me. So I'd squirt him, and I'd get him to run back inside.
Get his ass.
You want to hear something? Do you guys know what guinea hens are?
Yes,
They're birds and
yeah,
they're
yeah,
obnoxious.
yeah. those
So
like those
Guinea
like
hen.
puffy look like circular looking ones.
they look kind of like, I don't know, they look like killer clown birds. They have,
Yeah, that's funny.
but they're
Killer clown birds.
fucking annoying as hell. And so one year I was in FFA, and one year I decided to do chickens as my FFA project. So I decided we had to have guinea hens. Okay, so we got two guinea hens, and they were noisy fucking birds. And those birds would sit under my bedroom
What's up?
window in the summer, and they make
Yeah.
that noise that they make, right? And so I would chase them off, and finally
Like Popeye?
Yeah.
I kept a bowl of little rocks on my windowsill. And when they would get under my window at 5 o'clock in the morning doing that, I'd chuck rocks at them. Well, my mom, so we had this hen house thing, and my mom would go out every night and she would sit there and she would talk to the birds and she would pet them like you do a cat or any other animal, right? And I remember one night I went out there, I don't know why, but I went out there with her, walked in, and those guinea hens were cool until they saw me. And the minute they saw me, man, they started acting at me and getting evil and like they were gonna flog me.
They're like attacking you because of the pebbles.
Yep. Or like that bitch.
It's like the movie Birds.
Yep.
Did you guys see my post with the idea of keeping the birds away from your strawberries?
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
don't
I don't
know.
know
With
that
the
birds are a lot smarter than you give them credit for.
I what do you mean? It's not my. I shared it. I said, do you think this is
Well, I'm not
legitimate?
saying
And
necessarily you, but birds are smart.
so Smashly, there was a picture of these rocks painted like strawberries.
Mhm.
So a whole bunch of rocks laying around your strawberry bed that look like strawberries, and supposedly the birds will come and hit those and
I think I've
find
seen
out
that
real
post
quick.
before. Yeah, like to
Uh,
fool them, kind of.
I guess I think it would happen. They would
Well,
still get away with some strawberries, but they once they hit some rocks, they might start getting frustrated and maybe not come back. I don't know. I guess that's
Have
the
you
idea.
have you seen those big plastic owls that
Yeah.
people buy to try and scare pigeons off with or whatever? They don't work. I'm telling you, birds are a lot
Nope,
smarter than you think.
Right.
they
Yeah.
definitely don't work.
I know if you plant like chives with strawberries, I've heard that that helps deter because of the stronger smell.
Hmm.
Yeah, companion planning might
Yep.
help. But
hmm I'll be right back. I gotta call a friend real fast. One sec.
Oh, she's gonna try to win the bonus round. She's gonna call a friend.
Oh,
she's got one phone a friend left, and she's got I don't know what the other options were on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Wasn't that it? It was like Smashley. You just commented in the private chat. By the way, you can comment in the Rumble chat if you want to. But that was it was funny. He's like, I'm gonna phone a friend on this one. Like, okay, was it A, B, or C? I
oh, yeah,
watched that show a few times. Regis, he'd be
yeah.
eating chips or whatever, you know. He'd be like, "Hey, I don't know." He did the commercials back in the day. Game shows. Speaking of game shows, trying to get game night to be really something that can get bigger and bigger and better and faster and awesome and more fun. So we're gonna try to make it where you got to be there to win. Now, if that means you can't stay there while we're live and you miss the prize, whatever. I know that might suck, but I'm also going to allow everybody to be eligible every week as well. So as long as you show up, and as long as you're within enough people in the beginning on the list in the post, just like I have been doing, I make a post in the subscriber community over there on locals, and if you comment in that post, you'll get in the list as long as there's an even number of players to be on the teams, if that makes sense. If we have 3 or 4 team captains and you're like the last 2 or 3 people, you're not going to get in. It's just not going to work out. But yeah, otherwise, I think it's going to be like everyone will be. I'm also going to be putting more indoor farmer coupons on the wheel to try to sweeten the pot, as it were. We only went to Ollie's yesterday. So yeah, Ollie's is one example of a unusual review for me, because normally I try to stick to small businesses that aren't chains, and I didn't realize Ollie's was a chain. I went to this Ollie's and I was like, oh, it's kind of a cool place, and so I did a whole review at this Ollie's. You got Ollie's down there, Kim?
I don't think so. What is it?
It's called Ollie's cheap stuff good or something like that.
Is it like a dollar store or something?
Something like that. Outlet store of some kind. Yeah, I don't know what.
Upgraded dollar store.
Okay, dollar store plus. Super dollar store, I guess. Well, you got like Five Below. You got a bunch of those little cheap stores. Those stores are probably gonna. I would think that some of those stores are going to have less access to such cheap goods soon. And while that could be good, it could be bad, I think that's still what's going to happen. Is even if we do ramp up, like even if like best case scenario we'd start doing a lot more manufacturing here in the U.S., I don't think you're going to see what I mean by cheap goods. I don't mean like inexpensive goods. I mean like low quality goods,
Yeah,
like cheap shit that we can buy that says made in China or whatever.
like
Yeah,
was it Wish?
yeah, Wish stuff or your Temu
Well, you
jokes.
know what? I get a lot of stuff off of Timu, and some of it's junky junk, but some of it's not too bad. I got this ladder, and it's not like OSHA approved, but it's a pretty good ladder. And it's tall. Like if you were to buy that ladder anywhere else, it'd be like around $100, and I got it for like $30. So there's some stuff that you get that's not necessarily low quality. That's pretty nice stuff.
Oh, yours had a grand opening yesterday, Brenda. The Ollie's. Okay, got a rug for $20 or $18, $19. Yeah, I mean, there's bargain places, and you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can buy that cheap, like grow equipment. Like when you get like a fan for your grow room, like you don't get an expensive fan. You get a fan that's basically going to be thrown away after a use or two, like a one or two.
Does.
Yeah. So you're like, well, I'll just get something $20, $25, get them on sale or whatever. So
Shoot,
there's a
I
lot of
these fans for that little grow box I showed you a while back, 4 of those fans, I bought those, and it was like under $14 for all 4.
That's
And
crazy.
they all came because they're with USB cord, so they all came with their own little boxes too. All that under $14.
And you could get a box that had like multiple outlets for USB too.
Mm-hmm.
So DC, do you have anything to add on the topic? We're getting close to the 2-hour mark. We're winding down on the viewers too, but just want to hear like what's your most excited, because you got a lot planned. You had a lot planned. You had some setbacks. You got a lot of seeds. You said, like, you've got nothing but potential still for the summer and for the season.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moves that can be made, and you don't need to talk about the specifics. But is there anything sort of in general that you're looking forward to this year, as far as like making moves outside, doing something productive?
Well, yeah, it's well, a part of all the medical issues that's going on with me. I just fighting through that and not letting it affect my mood or you know allowing that to distract me from other things. I kind of slipped for a moment there and kind of almost had a nervous breakdown when things were piling up pretty strong. But yeah, it's not the end there. That's just a simple trial. All trials are is just to make you better. That's it.
But you feel that
Just to
positive
make you sharp.
energy from the springtime, like from this, all the life, all the
Yes.
life coming out there. If there's this positive feel, like this potential, like there's so much I can do now. It's getting nice out. So hopefully that
gives you energy. Also, like just putting your hands in the ground.
Hi, Brenda.
Yeah, getting your hands in the ground and tilling, sowing that seed and just being a part of that experience of, you have your own family that you're taking care of, but in a way, you have that's why I always say, keep your green family growing. That's what I'm talking about. It's like there's like a relationship you're building between you and the plant. And yeah, there's energy there, there's good energy there.
Do you ever try no-till?
Yeah, that I do agree with. It makes, I mean, I don't mind turning the ground.
There's a little bit of, you can do some of but there's some tilling that's right. They're really just churning up that soil, and that's actually, they're finding out that may not be the best method with all the microbes and all the stuff. Like imagine a city just getting tilled up.
Exactly. Yeah, no. It's just, loosening up the ground for the next season.
I don't have any room for that outside, so I always am interested in how other people do it. I was thinking about figuring out maybe a little small herb garden this year or something. I do have like some space. My house is kind of long, and the sun. So let's say like the back of my hand, the palm of my hand would be like the back of the house. The sun will rise back here. It crosses my house and it sets over here, and so like I don't really have anywhere around my house where there's just like daytime there the whole day. You know what I mean? It's like I get literally like 12 hours of light on each side of the house. Like, or not even that.
Well, yeah. So like Cassandra and I, we're like tripling up on the amount of hanging baskets because last year we did a lot of hanging baskets completely around the house.
What would you grow in those?
A ton of citronella.
Okay.
Just to help with the mosquitoes, and
does it
we had the grandkids coming over a lot, so Anytime you want to go fishing, you just grab a few of those leaves, rub it on you, and you're good to go.
Does it seem to work?
Oh yeah, I love citronella.
It works just having it growing in the baskets around the
Oh
house.
yeah, just those metal baskets with coconut mesh in it. Yeah,
Huh.
it works just fine. I love it. And not only that, I had a lot of sage, a lot of rosemary, uh, some wildflower, but towards the front of the house. But this year we're going a little nuts with
Mm-hmm.
many. We want at least 40 hanging baskets around the house.
I would want to attract more dragonflies.
Yeah.
Dragonflies kill a lot of mosquitoes. They're
Mhm.
cool. They're good for other things. I don't know what else, but they're good. They're good for
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
Or
do well is to buy the houses, their
mm,
little houses for not only dragonfly, praying mantis, and
yes,
the ladybugs.
praying mantis. Yes, I want some of those in my table down here.
Yeah.
Man, I want because the table is kind of like it's like a one of those tables they use for like tabletop war games with all the
Right.
figures, action figures and stuff.
Mm.
That's kind of what my grow table is like. It's like there's actual soil, there's like hills and stuff. Like I want to have like this battle with praying mantis versus like whatever else in the table, some beetles or something. I don't know, but yeah, I actually have pretty good sunlight that comes into the basement here. I just didn't want to expose the windows because it was so cold. The cold was coming right through the windows,
Mm.
like without it was radiating enough that it would make this room a little bit colder. And anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for the springtime. I actually got a lot of projects outside I'd like to get going on. I have so much work to do in this house still, but you can only do so much. So I suggest everybody, try to plan some of it out. Try to make like DC and I hopefully going to get some electrical work done so I can get this girl flowering. Man, I feel like she's flowering. I feel like it's almost like she's an auto. It's so
How,
weird.
how tall is she so far?
Somewhere around my waist.
And you still got her right there on the floor, right?
Yeah, I need to get her somewhere else, but it looks like she's literally looking like she's starting buds.
Yeah,
And
those main stems, as long as that main stem is getting that light um, from top to bottom, you should be good.
I do want to switch her to flower though, ASAP. Anyway, you guys all have a good night. Everybody have a good weekend. Thanks again, Kim. Thanks for popping up, DC.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for listening to my ad read. That was fun.
All right.
We'll see you guys Sunday for game night.
Respect.
I
Peace,
am
love, Rastafari.
I'm really still thinking about changing all my show times. Kim, what if we did people in the boxes during the day
You
on
won't
a
get me
weekend?
during the day.
On a
Oh, on the
weekend.
weekend? Well, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Just depends.
I don't know if
Depends
I
on,
could.
on my love life.
Right.
If I'm gonna
Yeah,
end up having one of those, I don't know. We'll
that's
see.
true. That's
I'm
true. Well,
open. I'm like going, what? Okay, well, I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes.
I
I
wish
don't
you all
know.
the best. I wish you luck.
Thank you. Okay.
And maybe it'll work itself out. You'll be too busy, and we'll move people in the boxes to during the day, and and we'll all be happily ever after. But you're
I
I don't
won't.
want to
I
go
won't give up on. I don't give up on things easily. I try to make everything work. So
right. It's something I've been thinking about a lot because it would make some things easier if I did the show during the day. But I just don't feel like it's a daytime show. It's a late night show. Late night, do our little nightcaps and such. We're speaking of. I am going to jump over to locals for a little while for an after show if anyone's interested. Kayla and Diane and Margaret, DC, whoever wants to pop over there. But yes, let's all wish Kim the luck and not to break a leg while she's out in the on a hike.
Or have a heart attack.
Right. No, well, maybe you might want to do some maybe want to do like a movie montage training session before.
Hell no, I'll give myself a heart attack before that happens.
Like, Eye of the Tiger it for a good couple of days before you go up and you find out like he's actually not in good shape. No, just kidding.
No, he's
all right.
in good shape.
All right. Ooh, it's getting hotter and hotter by the minute. All right, you guys have a good night. Hit the like button if you haven't yet already. If you've been watching this whole time and you haven't followed the channel, follow the channel. Consider signing up over on Locals at theindoorfarmer.locals.com. Or if you're watching from Rumble, you can just hit that join button right underneath, and we'll be over there in just a couple minutes. So remember, everybody's got to eat. So keep that in mind when you see your neighbors out there toiling away in their gardens. Maybe you could give them a hand once in a while. Yeah, we'll see y'all. Peace.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm Wailing the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro setup, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle's real. Wayland's here, and he's